Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. We are going to discuss about the difference and similarities of federal structure of India and USA. Two principal forms of the constitution are known to history. One is called unitary and the other is federal. Federation means the establishment of a dual polity. The constitution is a federal constitution in as much as it establishes what may be a dual polity. This dual polity under the constitution will consist of the union at the center and the states at the periphery, each endowed with sovereign powers to be exercised in the field assigned to them respectively by the constitution. This dual polity resembles the American Constitution. In this dual polity, union government is known as the federal government and the other government of the states. The same is called central government and state government respectively in India. Both United States and India are considered as the largest democratic countries in the world, which are based on federalism in their political structure. Both US and Indian constitutions provide separation of powers among three institutions, namely, executive, legislature and judiciary. Each division is empowered with a separate power. Both US and India have a bicameral legislature. The upper and the lower houses of US legislature are called as the House of Senate and the House of Representatives respectively, and the Indian Parliament has Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as its lower and upper house respectively. The President, having chief executive power, appoints the members of his kitchen cabinet and he is the Supreme Commander-in-Chief of Army, Navy and the Air Force. He is empowered to appoint the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the US. He enters into treaties with other countries. However, his treaties must be approved by the House of Senate. Otherwise, the treaty will not come into force. Similarly in India, it is the Prime Minister and his cabinet who exercise real power. They can be removed from power by a successful no-confidence motion passed by both houses of Parliament. The policy decisions become laws only after obtaining the requisite majority of the Parliament. The differences that distinguish federal structure of USA and India are more fundamental and glaring than the similarities between the two. The commonly invoked model of federalism is the United States, by which it is clear that it is a federation of states. These states were independent and sovereign in their territories, and decided to form a federation. Their territories cannot be altered by the federal government. In India, on the other hand, Parliament has the power to admit new states, create new states, alter their boundaries and their names, and unite or divide the states. The concurrence of states is not needed for the formation and unmaking of states and union territories. In India, the residuary powers of legislation, that is the power to make law in a field not specified in the Constitution, is vested in Parliament, whereas in the US, residuary powers are with the states. Further, in fiscal matters, the power of the states to raise their own resources is limited, and there is a good deal of dependency on the center for financial assistance. In the USA, this dual polity is followed by a dual citizenship. In the USA there is a citizenship of the USA, but there is also a citizenship of the state. Though, the Constitution of the United States, which prohibits the states from taking away the rights, privileges, and immunities of the citizen of the United States. In certain political matters, including the right to vote and to hold public office, the states may and do discriminate in favor of their own citizens. This favoritism goes even further in many cases. Thus, to obtain employment in the service of a state or local government, one is in most places required to be a local resident or citizen. Similarly, in the licensing of persons for the practice of such public professions as law and medicine, residence or citizenship in the state is frequently required, and in business where regulation must necessarily be strict, as in the sale of liquor and of stocks and bonds, similar requirements have been upheld. Each state has also certain rights in its own domain that it holds for the special advantage of its own citizens. The states charge non-residents higher tuition in the state colleges and universities, and permit only residents to be admitted to their hospitals and asylums except in emergencies. In short, there are a number of rights that a state grants to its own citizens or residents that it may annex legally deny to non-residents, or grant to non-residents only on more difficult terms than those imposed on residents. Indian Constitution is a dual polity with a single citizenship. There is only one citizenship for the whole of India. It is Indian citizenship. There is no state citizenship. Every Indian has the same rights of citizenship, no matter in what state he resides. The dual polity of the proposed Indian Constitution differs from the dual polity of the USA in another respect. In the USA, the constitutions of the federal and the state governments are loosely connected. At the conclusion, we can say, USA is more federal than unitary in character, whereas India is more unitary than federal, and we can even say that India is a quasi-federal state. If you like this video, please subscribe our channel.